For our next project, we're gonna be creating a self-portrait with some really fun supplies and techniques. So we're gonna be creating kind of two layers to our portrait. Our first layer is going to be on a piece of transparency paper, and then we're gonna be creating a painted paper for behind our work. And the first thing we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be tracing the contours of our face with a Sharpie. So the contours of our face are all of the features, the shape of our face, the shirt, our eyes, and all of the details within our eyes and within our ears and within our hair. So when you get your picture, you're gonna begin with this piece of clear transparency paper over the top. And I'm gonna tear off 2 little pieces of tape. I don't need very much. So I'm gonna just start with a piece, and then I'm just gonna tear that in half. And I'm gonna put one at the top to secure it, and I'm gonna just put it right on top of my photograph, and one on the bottom. And when I am outlining, I want you to really pay attention to your lines. So I definitely wanna go right on top of my face, and I want you to trace the shape of your face first. And be careful as you go, because the Sharpie does take a little bit longer to dry than normal paper, and I don't want you to smear it. Okay. Next, I'm gonna trace the shape of my hair. So I have kind of a bit of a part right here that I'm gonna show. Even this little piece of hair, I definitely want to show. I want to capture the details. So my hair is in this kind of braid. So I'm going to draw in a few little lines so that you can kind of see what kind of hairstyle I have. And if you want, you can even add some lines here to create the texture of your hair. My hair is straight, so my lines are gonna look more straight. Even gonna trace the outlines that I see in my ear, my earring, and my eyes. So when I'm tracing my eyes, I'm gonna go around the actual shape, being really careful to go right on top. And then I'm gonna go inside and trace my iris and the pupil. And I like to create kind of a white space in the eye so that I can see a reflection. And then of course, eyelashes, if you see your eyelashes. And when you outline everything in black, you're gonna notice it's gonna make your eye look like you have a lot of like dark makeup on. Don't let that scare you, because it's going to look great once we take them off the background. If you accidentally make a mistake with your Sharpie, then you can use the Expo marker at your table. And what you're going to do is you're just going to rub your Expo marker over the line that you want to erase. And then take a Kleenex and gently wipe it. Okay. Next, you're gonna be taking this off. And I'm gonna gently kind of take this off. So this is the way I had it. Now I'm gonna be flipping my paper over and doing the paint pen pattern on the back side. For the next part, we're gonna be working on a messy mat because we don't want this next material to get onto the tables. The next material we're gonna be using is a oil-based paint pen. And we're gonna need to be sharing this class set. So you'll see that there's a few at your table, and then if you need a specific color, you can borrow some things. So I'm gonna be creating a color scheme for my work. And I want you to really focus first on your shirt because we're gonna be creating some interesting patterns on our shirt that maybe aren't there in the actual picture. Now, I really love the pattern on my shirt, so I'm gonna kind of go with that and add a little bit of extra. But if you have a solid color shirt, I want you to think of a pattern that you could add. So for this one, I did pink and light blue and another shade of blue. I think for this next one, I'm gonna try some of these colors like this. For that. So if you've never used these before, they're pretty cool. Just make sure they stay right on your paper. So I think I'm gonna start by kind of filling in my flowers. And remember, we're on the opposite side of the Sharpie. So you're going kind of right over your Sharpie and filling in that shape so that when you flip it over to the other side, when it's dry, you can see it through like that. When you are painting in details like your eyes and your eyebrows, do be cautious and try to leave that little white place to look like a reflection. It's gonna help your eyes look more realistic. And definitely only color the iris. You could even color your iris a different color. My eyes are brown, but in this one, I did my eyes blue. So it's up to you if you wanna make it more realistic looking or a little bit more abstract. And same with your hair. We can add a couple of different shades of color to our hair. So I'm gonna add a few shades of this brown, and then I'm gonna go in with some other shades. Maybe your hair is not even the shade of your actual hair color. It could be a different color completely. Like maybe you wanna make your hair green or purple. It's totally up to you. I'm kind of going for a more realistic look with this one. But if you want to go a little crazy with the colors that you do for your eyebrows or your eyes, that is totally fine. Now that my detail's done, I'm going to be choosing a color that I haven't used yet, and I'm going to be painting it over my details for my shirt. If you didn't do your hair, you can add your color to your hair this way too. I'm gonna choose this light blue, and I'm gonna be painting it over my paint pen. Now remember, we're gonna be seeing through to the other side, so it's not like I'm covering up all my details, because when I flip it over, I will still see them on the other side. Okay, now that everything's filled in except for my background and my skin color, I'm gonna be creating a very simple piece of painted paper for the background. And you're gonna wanna be thinking about colors that are different than what you've already used. So I'm probably not gonna be using blue because I already have a lot of blue. I wanna probably choose a different color. So I think I'm gonna choose yellow for my background based on the colors that I already have. Once you have your background paper, go ahead and start by writing your name on the back. And the side that we're gonna be working on is kind of slick. Colors, just kind of smear around on the background and rub some paint scrapers through. So I'm gonna do a little bit of pink and some. Instead of mixing this all together, I kind of want some to stay really bright yellow and some to stay kind of orange. So I'm not gonna mix it all. I kind of like seeing the brush strokes like that. And then I can take a paint scraper and scrape some interesting lines through my work. Keep it really simple. If you do too many lines, it will distract from your lines that you've already created. So I'm gonna put that on the drying rack, and then next week we will attach them together.